about this new Lamborghini here. Fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? This TV cabinet. Here in my basement, and got my plans right here. Zoom in. The only thing I love more than plans is knowledge, alright? And I'll use that saw cutter right over there. Got some wood and more wood behind that. And yeah, let's get to cutting. Alright, as you can see here, there's I had more complicated plans, and then now I'm just simplifying it just with two sizes of wood, 40 inches, 40 inch and 12 inches, and those are all the cuts I should need. And yeah, basically time to get measuring and cutting. Ear protection, always important. And I'm gonna put you guys up right here. Alright, I have the base of it here, and it's time to start drilling. I changed up the plans a little bit for the actual TV cabinet. I have this sticking out. I won't have it raised as much, but you'll see it in the end. Hopefully it turns out square and it'll sit level. Alright, so this is the bottom part. A little heavy, but now it's time to attach the legs. And to the sides, one's right there, and yeah. So as you can see right here, almost done with the frame. Just got to put the finishing touches on, put the top on, and should be good. This is the frame itself. So what I'm going to end up doing is attaching lights around the outside. Individually controllable lights, and also my cat's hiding up there. Can you see him? Dodger! Nah, he's a little shy. Alright, so here I have a soldering iron, a power supply I found in my garage. Yep. And I looked up a wiring diagram online. I think I know what I'm doing with this. Right now I'm going to try to get the fan to turn on by cutting this wire and connecting it to a black wire. We'll see how that goes. And then you can see here's the voltages on here. Right, and I want the 5 volt. And so that should be one of these red wires. I don't know, I think just any one of the red wires coming off of there provide 5 volts. And yeah, I should, this provides the maximum of 22 amps. So to the LEDs, should only need the maximum 18 amps at full power. So yeah, so I'll just hook this up. See if I can get the LEDs connected, and then I'll work on getting the LEDs on the front, and then I'll work on a little bit of software for that. So, oh no, which wire do I cut? Which wire? The red wire, the blue wire. Which one? Oh, I can cut this. Always the red. It's always the red. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. this one. Bomb diffused. First connection is done. I'm going to plug this in. Hopefully it doesn't explode in my face. First wrap it up with electrical tape. Gotta take your precautions. And yeah, and we'll see from there. Alright, so basically what I just did was connect the standby pin, which is usually connected to the computer to tell the power supply to turn on and off. So I connected that to ground, and when that circuit's completed, then the power supply fan should come on. So you know what? I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit. It's probably better to plug it in from this end rather than directly into the thing. So I am my own cameraman. And it's nothing. Maybe this power supply was dead. I don't know. I found it in my garage. Alright, so I can feel the fan going, which means there must be some current draw from the lights. Everything's plugged in right now. And I'm going to see if I can hook this up to my computer to see if I get any, to my Raspberry Pi pretty much. See if I can get these lights turned on. Alright, so after realizing that it might be a little more difficult due to some technical issues with the Raspberry Pi 3, not being able to use audio and do the control the lights that I have at the same time, I looked online and it said that the Uno R3 was the best solution. So I decided to pick up this cheap kit on Amazon instead of using the other, and instead of using the one that were provided, because this one I can keep after, and it just includes a bunch of cool stuff. So I'll use this to control all the lights. So I found this old Cat 3 cord. My kit comes with these cords, but they're a little flimsy. I'm afraid they'll overheat and catch on fire, so I'm gonna go with this stuff right here. And it's time to cut off a strip, and it's time to solder some ends to this. So here I am, back again at the soldering iron. I'm about to solder these pieces to that, so I can connect these strips together. Alright, so this is the first strip right here. Soldered it, took a little while, but now it's hooked up to that. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. So I was looking at a guide for this, and basically here's my Arduino, and here's a resistor, hopefully to protect the data line of 4. And this is a connection to ground, and this is a connection to 5 volt. There's a 220 resistor right there, and then I have my power supply right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the code, plug it in, upload the code to the Arduino. It's not going to be able to power everything. I'm going to take a big step back, plug this in. Hopefully nothing catches on fire, or it doesn't short out my computer. But yeah, I'll upload the code and let's see if this thing works. So it's partially working right now. Let's plug in the other power source though. Oh, put you on my pants. And it would appear as if our connection to the other lights is not good. This one's not properly connected, which means we'll have to desolder and resolder. Okay, resoldered it and took out one of the lights because the connection was bad. And there's my first one over there. So right along that strip, right at the end, it was bad. I'm gonna plug this in, see if I don't think I'll need power from the PC, but let's try it. All right, nothing. This is Arduino's on. Let's plug it in. Alright, registered that the data is on. Let's verify and upload. And it would appear that none of the lights are going on now. Quite interesting. Alright, so I jostled the connection around, and it looks like some of them are lighting up now, and some of them aren't, which is progress. Let's try plugging in the extra power source, see if it's a juice problem. And we get connectivity for all of the lights. It looks like either some of the lights are dead, or it's supposed to be a rainbow function. Okay, so update. It seems as if the lights do whatever they want, whenever they want. Not sure why. And I'm going to explore, trying to find out. Okay, so we have an update. I looked up online what G is, typically ground, and then I examined the thing right here, the actual device chip. It's focus, and it's 5-volt data and ground. 5-volt being on one side, data and ground being on the other. So this is the connector right here. This is a kind of unconventional connector for it. It's got the red for 5-volt, green, and then white, which means that the green must be the data and the white must be the ground, which is not to convention. At least what Wikipedia says, it's not to convention. So let's try. Here, I got the first light right there, powered up, fully fine. And let's see if we can add more lights. All right, you see we have 2 lights right here. It's doing some cool effect. Cop car. This is just test code that I bought, that I downloaded from the thing, or from online. Yeah, the internet. And let's see if we can add some more lights to this. Alright, so this is the result. I finally got it all to work. There are 192 individually addressable lights, and right now you can see this one thing going around, kind of changing the color of the lights. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, now they all changed. I don't think I'll have the time to code a something that analyzes the beat of a music, but I will incorporate one of the sensors that are in my kit and make it do something unique. So what I've done is I've hooked this microphone up. It comes with an analog out. Comes with, next to it is a ground and positive. It's supposed to be 5 volts. I'm going to see if it works with 3.3, and then the slot all the way to the right is digital out. So I'm going to mess around with this in the code and see what I can get it to do. So all the LEDs are working. I got 2 of these. I hooked up, this is supposed to be a high sensitivity microphone. Let's get the focus right. And it's supposed to basically, I hooked up the digital out, and whenever a certain noise level is reached by the microphone up at the top right there, whenever a certain noise level is reached, it's supposed to send out a digital signal. But and there's a pentometer right there to control the voltage, so it's supposed to control the sensitivity. I couldn't really get this to work. I think it's because the microphone, or wherever shoddy eBay seller I bought this from didn't sell it good. Either the microphone doesn't work, or something else. So here it is. I hooked up my own pentometer to it. That came with the kit. And basically what happens if I control the voltage, I can make it, this is supposed to, if it gets too loud, say you're in your dorm and you want to avoid a certain noise level to avoid R8, and you're having a party and you want to avoid a certain noise level, the microphone would be good to trigger these red lights to tell you to either turn the music down that you have, or stop talking, stop shouting across the room or something like that. And then when the noise levels go back down, let's increase the voltage or increase the resistance. Then the regular function would go back on, the regular party mode function. So yeah, you can definitely hook up a bunch of other sensors to this. You can hook up pretty much anything you want. You can use this as a sort of interface if you want to hook up perhaps an AI to it. You can, like the Google Home and a lot of other products, they have usually a ring around the top, and it lets the colors kind of indicate what's going on with the system and gives you feedback. You can hook up a bunch of sensors, display information, switch between modes and stuff like that. What I wanted to do, and what I'll probably work on over the summer, is getting a microphone to work and making these LEDs like light up and according to the beat, which of the music that you're playing, which is probably just a matter of usually just measuring the audio level and seeing what the peaks are, because the beat's usually one of the loudest noises in a lot of type of music. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is on the I'm using the code right now that I found, the example code. This is the Cyclops Eye. So it's going around slowly but surely. You can adjust the speed of that, and you can adjust all the stuff. There's my cat. And yeah, you can hook up pretty much any sensors that you want to get this done.